Hi, Cancer. Welcome to July. We're going to get right into what you can expect this month. So, on the 5th, we have the Sun in a conjunction to Uranus. And so, for you, the Sun is in Cancer in your area of your life that deals with your self image. So, the Sun is here in Cancer, and then we have Uranus in Taurus. And so, they are in a nice sextile to one another. So, around this time, a lot of Cancer risings are going to have, you're going to welcome new experiences related to your friendships. You might find yourself, you and your friends might decide to go and get tattoos together, or you might both, or you might all decide to just change something about your self image, and you might do it together as a group. Okay, so that is something you can look forward to on the 5th. Now, on the 6th, we have Mercury in Gemini. So let's move Mercury over here. The green asterisk is acting as Mercury at this point. We have Mercury in a square to Neptune in Pisces. And this is a time of confusion for a lot of people. Okay? This is a time where you might find a lot of people, including yourself, you might be telling little white lies about things. And so for you, you might come across someone who is maybe fluffing themselves up to know more than they actually know. You might come across someone who tells you, "Oh yes, I'm an ordained minister, and I got my degree from such and such university," because that's what the ninth house deals with. The ninth house deals with higher education. So you might very well come across someone, or you might find yourself fluffing yourself up in telling someone something that is really not totally true. And it could be related to broadcasting, it can be related to higher education, it can be related to spiritual matters as well. Okay, so that is the Neptune coming into play. The Neptune, because remember, Neptune is a part of us that wants to dream, wants to fantasize. And then you have Mercury over there in the area of your life that deals with spirituality. It's in the area that deals with what you're doing behind the scenes. Okay. So you might find yourself telling little white lies about your education, telling white lies about who you have come into contact, like who you've met. You might find yourself telling little white lies saying, "Oh, yes, I met Dalai Lama," or, whoever. You just might find yourself telling little white lies related to education, related to broadcasting, related to legal matters as well. All right, so just keep an eye out for that. Now, on the 6th, also on the 6th, we have Venus in Leo and in opposition to Saturn in Aquarius. So let's move the asterisks around. Venus in Leo, this is acting as Venus in Leo, and this is acting as Saturn in Aquarius. So around this time, this is an aspect where Venus wants you to enjoy yourself. Meanwhile, Saturn wants you to exhibit some type of discipline. Okay? So this is related to, more than likely it's related to finances. You will have, or you will find that you might be tempted to overspend around this time, Cancer rising. You might be tempted to overspend, and meanwhile, you have Saturn being the disciplinarian, reminding you that, hey, you need to keep things the way they have always been. Okay, if you know you don't have the money to purchase this or indulge in that, then try to cut back. So that's something that a lot of Cancer risings might have to deal with. And it could be a case, it could be involving sex, it could be involving your transformation, but it is definitely involving money as well. So a lot of Cancer risings might have a bit of a struggle to deal with related to money, sex, other people's money, the transformation you're going through. So just keep an eye out for that, Cancers. Okay, now let's move on to the following week. The following week, the week of July 11th, we have Mercury moving into Cancer. Mercury moves into Cancer on the 11th. So you're going to be more concerned with your self image once Mercury moves into your first house. So you're going to be more concerned with your self image. You're going to find yourself thinking more about your self image once Mercury moves into Cancer. Okay. So on the 12th, we have let's skip over to the 13th because on the 13th we have a great aspect. We have Venus in a conjunction to Mars. They will both be located in Leo and they are in your money house. So this is great energy. This is going to be a great day related to money. You're going to feel good about your money. You're going to feel balanced. A lot of you Cancer risings. So that's on the 13th. Now on the 15th, we have the Sun in Cancer. So let's move this asterisk over here to act as the sun. The sun in Cancer is going to be in an opposition to Neptune in Pisces. I'm sorry, it's going to be in a trine. The sun in Cancer is going to be in a trine to Neptune in Pisces. So let's move Neptune over here. I just got confused moving the asterisks around. So the sun in Cancer is going to be in a trine to Neptune in Pisces. This is going to be a time where you will want to understand something on a deep level. It is also going to be a day, a very psychic sort of day. Like the energy is going to be a very psychic energy where you're going to see yourself tapping into the feelings of others around this time. Okay, so for you, this is happening in the area of your life dealing with your self image. It can also deal with your outlook on life. And then Neptune is going to be in the area of your life that can deal with philosophy, higher education, legal matters. Okay, so for those of you who have legal matters that come up around this time, you are going to want to understand whatever you're dealing with on a deeper level. Okay, you just won't be satisfied with a simple yes or no answer. You are going to want to dig deeper, okay, related to ninth house matters around this time. So that is on the 15th. Now on the 17th, we have an opposition. We have the sun in Cancer in opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, so at this point in the month, the sun is going to be shining light on something that needs to be fixed in your life. Okay, so the sun is over there in your first house, which deals with your physical appearance, it deals with your outlook on life. So you might be looking at your partner and feeling like, you know what? Something is not right. Something needs to be fixed. So the sun is definitely going to be shining light on your partnerships. Now, for those of you who are not in partnerships, it could have something to do with a contract that you are thinking about entering. Okay, there's going to be some light that is shed on something that needs to be fixed in your life, whether it's partnerships or whether it's a contract you're thinking about entering. Maybe you're thinking about purchasing something and it requires you to sign a contract. So the sun is shining light on something that needs to be fixed in that contract or something that needs to be fixed in that partnership. So watch out for that around the 17th. Remember also, this can deal with mechanical breakdowns. So you might find that some of your devices are breaking down more than usual around this time. Now, that is on the 17th. Let's move on to the next week, the week of July 18th. So, on the 21st, we have Venus moving into Virgo, and it is moving into Virgo in your area of your life that deals with communications. So you're going to find yourself communicating more from the heart, communicating more from a place of love. Remember, Venus is the planet of love, comfort, and finances as well. So Venus moves into Virgo on the 21st, and on the 22nd, we have Leo. We have the sun moving into Leo. So the sun is going to be shining light on the money, your finances. So that's going to be a great time for a lot of people. Now, on the 22nd, you're going to find yourself overdoing something, either overdoing something, overeating something, just overall overindulging in something. So let's see where this is happening for you. We have Venus in Virgo. So let's move this asterisk over here to act as Venus. We have Venus in Virgo, and it's going to be in opposition to Jupiter in Pisces. Remember, Jupiter wants to expand. So Jupiter might want to expand maybe your interaction with other cultures. Venus wants you to indulge and have fun related to the third house. Meanwhile, Jupiter wants to expand everything going on in your ninth house. So maybe you're publishing, maybe you're broadcasting, and you might find yourself wanting to make so many millions of videos. And it's going to be an energy where you're just overindulging in something. It could be an energy for a lot of you where you find yourself feeling like you're talking too much, okay? Because the third house can deal with communications and the ninth house can deal with broadcasting, okay? So you might find yourself literally feeling like you are talking nonstop. And even if it's not like broadcasting on a network, it can just be something like maybe talking to a number of people and you just might feel like you're talking a lot. Okay. So there's going to be a bit of a struggle for you as far as you overindulging in communicating with. Oh, it could have something to do with traveling. You could find yourself being obsessed with travel. You could be researching local trips. You could be researching overseas trip. But whatever you're doing it to the point of excess around the 22nd. So you might find yourself being obsessed with booking a trip overseas, and that's maybe all you're talking about. Okay. So remember that. And if that happens for you, just let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if any of this is resonating with you, even if you have to come back 2 months from now and write a comment and say, you know what, Citrine, what you said that was going to happen in July, it actually did happen. Let me know in the comments. I love feedback like that. Okay. So that is on the 22nd. Now on the 23rd, we have the full moon in Aquarius at 1 degree. So I'm mentioning the degrees. I normally don't mention the degrees outside of teaching because I do teach astrology classes as well. I normally don't mention degrees too much if I'm outside of the class setting. So I'm mentioning the degrees here because we have a full moon in Aquarius in July, and we also have a full moon in Aquarius in August. And why is that? Well, the full moon this month is going to be at 1 degree Aquarius. The full moon in August is going to be at 29 degrees Aquarius because each sign has 30 degrees. So the full moon this month is going to be at the beginning of Aquarius, and the full moon next month is going to be at the end of Aquarius. So that's just a little FYI. Okay, so that's on the 23rd. Now let's move on to the next week, the week of the 25th. Okay, so on the 25th, we have in opposition. We have Mercury in Cancer and in opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. So there's going to be a bit of a giving in. A lot of you Cancers are going to give in to your partners. Okay? You might find yourself giving in to your partners or giving in to someone who wants you to sign a contract around that time. That is the energy of when Mercury is in an opposition to Pluto. You will find yourself giving in or doing something that you normally would not do. Okay. And then on the 29th, we have Mars moving into Virgo. Okay. And then we have another opposition. We have Mars in Leo in opposition to Jupiter in Aquarius. Okay. So for you, Mars is in Leo in your area of your life dealing with your finances, and it is going to be in an opposition to the area of your life that deals with other people's money. This is an energy where you will find yourself overestimating your abilities. Okay. When you have Mars in an opposition to Jupiter, you will find yourself overextending yourself. Okay. And it could be for a lot of you, you might find yourself maxing out your credit cards around this time. Okay. Because as I'm doing these readings, a lot of times I get sort of like downloads from the universe. It's just telling me a little extra stuff. When I do readings for people, sometimes they're surprised. They're like, wow, how did you get that information out of these, what I'm looking at on this chart? And a lot of some of it is like just spiritual guidance as well. Okay. So that's everything I have for you this month. If you would like to book a private reading, just visit my website, metaphysicalmoonlighters.com. Please like this video, share the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. Until next month, everybody enjoy July.